Welcome back, fellas. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're enjoying the NFL as much as I am. I hope you guys are enjoying these as much as I've enjoyed making them. They've been a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's just jump into it. Gonna start off by congratulating the Week 3 winners. So, give it up for Mr. Hunter Hoops, your host, Mr. Matthew Fruchterman, Mr. Hugh Bauer, and Mr. Hunter Anderson. Big round of applause here. That puts me to 8-10 through the first 2 weeks. I was able to lobby the group for an official change to pick the Resurgence over One Day at a Time once we heard about Austin Eckler and Justice Hill missing. So I'm taking that win where I can get it. We're at 8-10 with our picks. Let's get into it. First up, going to be the 1 seed versus the 9 seed. Hunter versus Hugh. Russ has been low-key cooking, even though they're 0-3. And against the Bears, I don't see that stopping anytime soon. This matchup could be a lot closer than we think just in these two positions. So leaning towards Lamar, but expecting another good game from Russ. Mike Evans is unfortunately going to be facing Marshawn Lattimore, which just never seems to end well for Mike Evans, so I'm expecting he'll be ejected, and Diggs is in an absolute smash spot. So even if Evans doesn't get ejected and he plays the full game, I still think it's Steph Diggs here. Moving on to the wide receiver 2 spot, I would take anybody with a pulse over DJ Moore or any wide receiver with the Chicago Bears right now. Just a really tough spot to be in, so give me Lockett. And now we're into the RBs, so Travis Etienne or Derrick Henry. Honestly, Etienne's an absolute workhorse right now. He's getting all the touches except in short down situations. They're bringing in Tank. But he's incredibly talented and a playmaker going up against Atlanta. I think good things are coming for Travis Etienne. Same cannot be said about Derrick Henry, though. These touches coming down are quite concerning if you were Hunter. Don't love to see the overall trend of Tennessee either. They're just, the game scripts aren't going to be run favorable, I should say. So, tough spot here. I think I'm leaning towards ETN for sure. This is definitely going to be a make or break for this RB2, Josh Jacobs. He needs a good game here. Absolutely needs a good game. The Raiders, lot seems to be up in the air right now. A lot of these players are unhappy with their current situations, and I think Jacobs is one of them. I don't know. He needs to perform here, or else Hugh is going to be, unfortunately, forced to bench him, I think. With that being said, I'm still going to go with Jacobs here. He's too good of a back to stay this unproductive. I think a breakout is coming. Next up, we'll go to the tight end spot. I think Dallas Goedert is due. They've been the Eagles have been run heavy through the first 3 weeks, and I think that's because defenses have been forcing them to do so. I'm not sure if Washington is going to do that. Washington is a pretty stout rushing defense, and I think we'll be seeing a lot more action through the air, which you never know. Could mean a Dallas Goedert touchdown. We'll just have to see. Last up will be the flex spot. This is tough because James Conner has such a brutal matchup, but the volume that he's getting right now makes me think I have to go with him, even in a brutal matchup. Jacoby Myers is a really talented guy who looked really good last week. I think Jimmy Garoppolo can make him more than viable. The volume that James Conner is getting, and I know I just said that, it is really unprecedented. So I've got to lean with James Conner here. So I don't know. I think I see a world where Hugh wins. It's just unfortunately not going to be today. I think Hunter wins here in week 4 to put him at 4-0. I think it's going to be much closer than these projections have. But I still think it's going to be Hunter at the end of the day to stay in first place and to stay as our only undefeated 4-0 team. Next up will be the number 2 seed Gutter Boys versus the 5 seed Low Rocks. I think the quarterback situation is a complete 50-50 toss-up. Both Jalen and Josh Allen are studs. I will be taking A.J. Brown over Amon-Ra just because A.J. Brown is so due for a touchdown. I think he's a candidate for multiple scores this weekend. I'm also going to take Keenan over pretty much every receiver in the league right now except for JJ and maybe Tyreek Hill. But yeah, Keenan Allen against the Raiders. Give me Keenan all day long. Surprisingly enough, I'm going to go with Alexander Mattison over Joe Mixon because Mixon's going up against the hardest rushing defense there is in the Titans. So, and it's going to be in Tennessee. I know Madison is in Carolina, but I just think the Vikings are going to be in a much better game environment than the Bengals will be in Tennessee, especially when it comes to the run game. So I'm taking Madison over Mixon. I will give you this RB2 spot with James Cook in Miami. Absolute blow-up spot right there. I don't doubt that. But, give me Kelsey every day, all year. Just give me Kelsey. And then Calvin Ridley is in his revenge game. And I don't know if you guys are believers of this revenge game narrative, but I certainly am. I saw it last year when A.J. Brown went up against the Titans. I believe he had 2 touchdowns and well over 100 yards. Not saying that Ridley is a guaranteed to do the same, but I'm smelling a huge game from Calvin, wanting to prove his old team wrong for letting him go. So, with that being said, I'm going to go with myself all the way here. Good luck, Kyle. And GG, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Okay, next up, we're going to have the 6 seed, one day at a time, versus the 3 seed, the Fruch Dynasty. I think both of these quarterbacks are incredible. Justin Herbert is playing out of his mind right now, and so is Kirk Cousins. I just think that Herbert does it a little bit better. So I'm leaning towards Herbert, but it's very close. Next up, the wide receiver 1 spots. These are 2 goats. I can't pick. I just can't. They're the same. Next up, I'll go with Higgins and a bounce back week. I know he looked bad last week. I don't think that happens again, especially against that pass funneling defense. Give me Higgins over Pittman all day. Let's see. Go to the... It's hard to tell. Okay, yeah, this one's Bijan. The RB1 is Bijan. RB2 is Brian Robinson. Very confusing at a glance. I will take Bijan all day, every day, and I will take Eckler over Brian Robinson. I know Brian Robinson's looking real good, but he's got a pretty tough matchup going against Philly this week. So, yeah, just gotta lean towards Eckler. And then I'm gonna go with Mark Andrews over Higbee, but Higbee is not a joke. He is one of Stafford's targets, and Stafford is throwing the hell out of the ball right now. So that's looking like a good duo. And then last up will be the flex spot. I think these are both very involved players with their respective offenses. Obviously, Miles being the RB1 and Brandon Ayuk kind of teetering around the wide receiver 1 spot, splitting it with Debo. I think this is just going to be a matter of who falls into the end zone. And when that's the case, it's impossible to make that call. So, with that being said, call me crazy, call me maybe. I'm going with the upset, Teddy over Fruch. Yahoo's got it wrong. Let it be known. Next up, going with the Baba Yagas, number 4 seed versus the number 8 seed, the Resurgence, I should say. It's got to be Tua right now over Brock Purdy. Brock is playing it out of his mind, but if the season were to end today, I think Tua would unanimously win MVP. So yeah, just got to be Tua. Next up, Devontae and Puka. Got to be Devontae. Puka's legit, but we are seeing Matt Stafford feel very comfortable spreading the ball around to Tutu, to Kyren, to Tyler Higbee. It's not just Puka anymore. So give me Devontae. Next up, we got Amari Cooper and Deebo Samuel. I'll take Deebo over Amari. It's close, though. It's really close. Amari Cooper has been clearly Deshaun Watson's favorite target. And yeah, just this one's a lot closer than you probably think. Next one, I'll take Kenneth Walker over Alvin Kamara. Ask me again in a couple weeks, and that answer might change. But right now, in Kamara's first game back, just gotta be Ken here still. Then I'll go Saquon over DeAndre Swift. Swift is awesome, but like I mentioned in my matchup, he's facing a tougher run defense this week. Not to say he's going to put up a dud or anything like that. I just wouldn't expect on 150 plus yards again. Who knows though? Maybe I'm wrong. Next up, the tight end spot. I'll go with Hawkinson over Musgrave. I will say Luke Musgrave's been impressing me a lot more than I anticipated. He's obviously still got to develop just a relationship with Jordan Love, but give that time, this is looking good. This is looking really good for a rookie tight end. Last up for this spot, it'll be the flex Jalen Waddle versus Kyren Williams. This is another toss-up for me. I really like Jalen Waddle and his game environment against the Bills. I think that could be an absolute shootout. And if that's the case, I would go with Jalen Waddle over Kyren. Just because, facing the Colts, that point total might be a little bit lower. So lean just slightly towards Jalen. It's going to be a very close game. I think these projections are right on 50-50. Really close to call. I'm going to go with Addison. I think he's a little bit more sound throughout. And yeah, just game environments wise, I think the Tua stack with Jalen Waddle against Buffalo is a recipe for a blow up. So yeah, gonna go with Addison here over Hunterson. Next up and lastly, we're gonna have the 9-seed Swayze Slugs versus the 10-seed Carl's team. This is great. This is like the Bears versus the Broncos or the Panthers versus the Vikings. This is the game of the week. It has to be. With that being said, let's get into it. I'll take Patty over T-Law, although I'm expecting a big T-Law bounce back. Like I mentioned in my matchup, it's Calvin Ridley's revenge game, and I think that means Trevor Lawrence is going to try and feed him a few long ball touchdowns. He dropped one last week. That would have helped them out both significantly. So I'm expecting a Trevor Lawrence bounce back. With that being said, it's still got to be Mahomes against the Jets. Next up, give me Jamar over Terry all day, especially against Tennessee. Like this is the best case scenario for Jamar Chase right now. Next up, I'll go with CeeDee Lamb over Romeo Doubs. I will say there's a caveat here. CeeDee Lamb's most likely going to be facing up against Christian Gonzalez, and Christian Gonzalez is the real fucking deal. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if Romeo Doubs outproduces him, but CeeDee Lamb's an incredible talent, and at the end of the day, I'd put my money on him over Christian Gonzalez as it is right now. Again, give me a few more weeks, that might change. Next up, the RB1 spots. It's got to be CMC. He is the RB1. I'm picking him over everybody right now. Next up, RB2 spot, Tyler Algier and Jahmyr Gibbs. I like Gibbs. I like his production right now. I like his role right now. Algier kind of just seems like a touchdown poacher to me. That's fine, but I like Gibbs more. Next up will be the tight end spot, and you know what? I like Laporta. I think Carl did a great job getting this guy on his roster. I should have looked out for the rookies a little bit more, but this guy is the real fucking deal, and I think Ben Johnson knows how to use him. So, expecting only improvement from Sam Laporta in the coming weeks, and I just really like him. So yeah, I'll go Laporta over Ertz, and then last up will be the flex spot Tutu versus Juju. Kind of fun flex matchup here, ain't it? Tutu's really impressed me. He's carved out a much more reliable role in that offense than I originally thought he was going to have. He's turning out to be like a great flex play with a really healthy floor of like 8 or 9 targets. He's catching most of them. The Rams just in general look good, so I will lean with Tutu here. Now, with that being said, it's got to be Carl, right? He's going to get his first dub. I can feel it. His team is not leaving week 4 0-4. You heard it here first. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I'm exhausted right now trying to get this out. Hopefully it's out before 5. If not, forgive me. But yeah, good luck this week. Wishing you all the best. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed.